Welcome back to Salam Media. The time is 10 minutes to 9. And joining us right now is Ameer Adams. He's the chairperson of MSA UWC and member of MSA Union. He's also the co-head of politics and international relations. Well, they are illuminating the ballot. This is a symposium that the MSA will be hosting, which is today at around 5 p.m. in Sandton. If you're around the area, make sure to make your way there. But before you do, Ameer will be chatting to us briefly about what the symposium is all about and why it's important for you to attend. Salaam alaikum, Ameer. Thank you so much for joining us on Salam Media.
Alaikum salam wa rahmatullah. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah to you as well as to all of the respected listeners, respected viewers.
Well, Jazakallah so much for joining us. First and foremost, illuminate the ballot. What's this all about? What's this symposium about, and why is it important for people to attend?
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. We begin with Allah's blessed name. We praise Him and we glorify Him as He ought to be praised and glorified. And we pray for peace and for blessings on all of His noble messengers. So, the reason as to why it's even titled as such, Illuminate the Ballot, is because we are living during very difficult times and very dark times, if I may say so. This is not the words of just myself as well as ordinary people on the street, but from credible political analysts. And by the way, I'm also a student of politics by
Mhm.
UWC. And many of our credible political analysis are saying this coming elections of 2024 is almost as difficult as the one that took place 30 years ago in
Mhm.
1994, due to all the various factions and the various difficulties that we find in our country, of course, the various challenges that we face, social economic challenges that we face, and the balance of power at play, the various factions that is coming out from various political parties, and the massive mainstream possibilities regarding major coalitions. It's no more coalitions only in few little areas now. It's now on a national level, possibly that it might happen, as well as maybe even revolution. Allah knows best. I'm not even going to
Mm,
go into that
mm.
topic. But that's what credible political analysts are telling us. And for that reason, things seems to be very dark for us. Based on our limited understanding, the ordinary person on the street, all of us, based on our limited understanding, things might be very dark, especially for majority of the country, and that is those of us who are youth. And for that reason, instead of putting people through that dark set or mind, giving people a dark picture now to understand and analyze the reality that might unfold after the elections of the 29th of May, what we are trying to do is to remind the youth about the power that they have, specifically in our capacity, we serving an MSA Union. So we're trying to remind the students about the power and the dynamic nature that we, not only as Muslim students, but as all the youth in the country have. Of course, the MSA started as a means of making awareness against the apartheid system at the time. And we, the MSA members of today, are merely just carrying on the legacy of our forefathers who came before us. And so we are reminding not only the Muslim youth throughout our various campuses in the country, but all the youth in the country to be part of the system whereby we can seek to illuminate the ballot. And that is where the title came from, illuminate the ballot through our vote in taking conscious decision to try and improve the conditions of our country, because we can all complain about what is currently unfolding within the country, but if we're not actively part of making that change, then we are going to have dark times pervading around us. So people who are having worries, oh, for example, if this party X takes over, and if they have to now take over government as well as whatever happens here, because the majority vote is going to go to them, then what's going to happen? And all these hypothetical situations that is popping up in our mind. What if this party takes over? What will happen then? What if that party takes over? How am I going to compromise it? Instead of having all of these hypothetical questions popping up in your mind and you go into that state of darkness, rather illuminate the ballot and ensure that you actively take upon that decision upon yourself to go to the polls on the 29th of May and to make an effective decision for the benefit of our country and for your own future. From a Muslim's perspective, I just wanted to say with regards to this point, that many people might feel that, okay, no, it's secular elections, and of course, based on our way of life, some people feel that, no, based on certain teachings, we cannot go and vote. Ultimately, our religion, our way of life, is about analyzing the reality around us that is as clear as daylight. And if you're not going to be actively involved in the affairs of what is happening around us, in whatever way and form you want to, whether you want to go to the elections and vote or not, you have to still be involved in the reality unfolding around you and the understanding of it. So here, MSA Union is just trying to have one of those means to give an option to people to remind them, look here, you have to ensure that you have to go to the election station on the 29th of May, and through that election ballot that you are going to, of course, be casting your mark on, you have to make an effective decision for the well-being and betterment of our country. And so, inshallah, in this particular program this evening, MSA Union has lined up a variety of speakers from various political parties to give the students and everyone in the country, all the youth specifically, a choice to see who is the best candidate, which party is the best party for you to elect, and in that way bring about illumination rather than darkness in this nation that we are having today. When I say darkness, I don't mean only hypothetically. No, I mean literally as well. We all
Literally,
know what
yeah.
that
Yeah, yeah. Amir, it's not a secret that majority of the Muslim youth has become very despondent when it comes to participating in local politics, and have chosen to be apolitical. Um, is that fact a catalyst to why the MSA decided, to kind of have this event and try to get people educated and involved, as we head toward less than a month before we go to the national elections?
Indeed, yes, but at the same time, no. Let me explain why. Yes, indeed, there's many a times Muslims that are a bit apathetic to go and vote in general. But at the same time, all youth, when we are on university grounds, we there with people of different ways of life, irrespective of their religious background, where they come from. And just to see the general state of society, how things are unfolding on our campuses, we're seeing many students are complaining about the condition, rightfully so, yes, complaining about the conditions that are unfolding at their campuses and in the communities, but no one is actually being, if I could say so, effectively part of bringing change. And for this reason, we are saying from in our capacity, because we are the Muslim Students Association. So, of course, in our case, we cater for the Muslim students mainly, but we cater for all students. And this program is to encourage all students to vote. But specifically in the context of Muslim students, we are saying whatever your view or stance is on voting, that's one matter. If you are of those people that decide, no, 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 you cannot vote because it's a secular system, barakallah, that is all good and well. And people have the evidences for that. For example, when it came now to the moon matter, the moon sighting issue, if people
Mhm.
feel now with second Eid, they want to have Labaran, as we say in Cape Town, have Eid with Makkah, barakallah. If not with the local sighting, barakallah, we're not going to force anything upon anyone. But what we're trying to do is we're trying to encourage people to make an active change to be part of the system, because we know many of the youth out there are all, indicating that we have all these problems, and therefore we don't know what the best way forward is. There's no effective way in which we can bring change. But what we're trying to encourage from MSA Union is for people to be part of the system to make an effective change. Because if you're not going to be part of the system to make an effective change, as I said earlier on, then we won't be able to have that effective right, so to say, if I can put it that way, to complain about the conditions unfolding in our country. So the only effective way you can bring about effective change is through being effective. Let me say
Mm.
that the only way, let me repeat that, the only way to bring effective change is to be effective, and to be part of an effective means in which you can bring that change. And this is why MSA Unit is having this program this evening. So no one can say that, okay, no, we're still unclear regarding which political party or what they stand for and how they're going to bring about that change for me. And okay, no, people have this mindset, especially among Muslim students, either party I vote for is still a corrupt system, or they're all corrupt, and therefore I can't be. And now, what you'll allow then, if you just don't go vote, is, for example, you're now going to allow that, as you would say, as youth, the youth out there, oh no, all parties are corrupt and it's a corrupt system, therefore I won't give in. Now, here the elections take place, and God forbid, here the corrupt parties come in, then whose fault was that? That's because you weren't part of ensuring that there was an effective counter to the system that you said is corrupt. Therefore, we are where we are today. So it's for more youth to realize the potential and the power that we have. And I just want to conclude on this point and say that it's very important for us to realize the power that we have as Muslims within this country. I need to emphasize this point. I've said this many a times. We are always told that we as Muslim youth are a minority of a minority. The Muslims in South Africa, we are a minority, right there, according to the stats. However, based on the numbers that we see, whether it be here where I am in the Cape Town region, up north, we know that the numbers of Muslim students are rising, alhamdulillah, and the number of Muslims throughout the country, of course, is growing. Not only because of the reverts, converts that we have, but because more and more people are being born, and therefore we should not have this mentality every time when they tell us, "Oh no, we're only a minority of a minority." That every time, okay, we as Muslims we can't really make a change because we also might be the minority, as we say in Cape Town,
Mm.
which is a small little group. So what change can we have? We must never ever forget the power and the great dynamic nature of being few in number, but at the same time being qualitative and not quantitative. And I mean, all the battles in Islam prove that, whether it be the Battle of Badr and so forth and so forth. We can go through countless examples. Even the Muslims in the past in our own country, people like Imam Harun and the great legends, they were people who were few in number, but they managed to have a great effect and impact upon the society that they were involved in at the time, even though the majority was against them. So for the Muslim youth out there, it does not be, having that mentality of, okay, no, 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 we don't feel we're really going to make a mark if we go and make our mark, if you get what I mean. We're really not going to have an impact, because our impact will be great indeed, even if it means bringing about a deterrent or bringing about a means of countering the corrupt political establishment that people feel that we are in today.
Eloquently put there. Just lastly, before I let you go, if someone is listening to this, they want to come, to the event, but they're wondering what would be some of the key takeouts, they're going to get once they get home and they're going to reflect. Maybe you can just break that down a bit. What are some of the key issues that are going to be discussed, and what are some of the key takeouts that you're going to get if you do attend this event?
Okay, so to put it in short, inshallah, I would just say shukran for placing the post up there so that everyone can see directly. It's referred to as Illuminate the Ballot, MSA Union's 2024 Vote-Wise Symposium. This is going to be moderated by two very, very well-known moderators, political analysts, as well as those who are involved in the media and the news sphere. And that is by Ms. Conita Hunter as well as Mr. Ibrahim Fakir. Alhamdulillah, I had the pleasure of meeting through various programs. This will be taking place this evening, as we said, the 24th of April at 5 p.m. at the Hyatt House in Sandton. And all the parties that will be represented there this evening is indicated on this particular poster. I just want to say a big shout out and I salute my dear sister Azra Sidat, who is, of course, heading the politics portfolio and international relations with me. That, of course, is the main mastermind behind this event, with two other additional members of MSA Union, that is Tahia, as well as Brother Imar Noor Mohammed, who are both also involved in the events team, and of course the main engines behind the logistical support and everything that took place for this event. Alhamdulillah, and are very, very political conscious when it comes to these matters. So basically what will be happening, as it indicates, is it's a symposium whereby we will be having a set out program, inshallah, from 5 o'clock after Maghrib Salah is made in that region. Thereafter, there will be an introduction, and after that, we will be giving all the political parties their time to speak, so to say, to give their introduction and to give their main manifestos of their political parties. So there's representatives of each political party that will be there, and they will be giving their introductions as well as speaking about what they have to offer for those who seek to be voting. Firstly, of course, to encourage everyone to vote. And for those who are unclear as to who they should vote for, the political parties will be campaigning, giving their manifestos out, and trying to encourage all of the youth as well as all of the guests who are there, as to ensure that they vote for the best political party that is being represented for. And thereafter, there will be a Q&A, because this is what the program is all about. At the end of the day, we hear manifestos from everyone, and this is what MSA Union is trying to ensure in our politics portfolio, that we're making awareness of. We hear the manifestos of everyone, whether it be the EFF, the ANC, DA, Rise Mzansi, Al Jama, all the other political parties. And so, therefore, we're not only just giving the political parties a platform to do their manifestos, which we've already seen, on the various social media platforms and on YouTube and wherever else we've seen the manifestos. We're giving the people, the youth specifically, an opportunity to engage with political party representatives, and that will come forward in the Q&A that will be taking place this evening, inshallah, whereby everyone will have that opportunity, if they so wish, to ask questions directly to the political party who they are maybe wanting to vote for, or they want more clarity from. And in that way, once you get engagement directly from the voting parties representatives who are there, then if there are any questions, for example, you felt this particular party you're uneasy about voting for because this is one matter that they maybe didn't, outline in the manifesto properly, you have that opportunity now to engage with that people respectively, and then to ensure also that you are able not only to understand more about what that party's manifesto is, but more behind who is going to be representing you, inshallah, if they come into government, and in that way see how they can strive for what you desire. There's also an opportunity whereby, say, for example, if I want to vote for party X and that party did not touch on a matter that I deem is important, then you can raise it with that particular party representative, and then they can take it up and ensure that if they get into government, then they, and of course into parliament, because it is a national as well as provincial elections. I think I need to repeat this. Many people, the youth out there will be surprised, still don't know the importance of these elections. It's a national as well as a provincial elections, not the local elections, because some people still get confused. In that way, whether it be with regards to how you want things to run in your own province or your provincial representation in the provincial parliament of yours, or nationally, you will be able to get that through ensuring that once you engage with your candidate, they will be able to explain to you all the ins and outs as to how governance will matter and how they will be able to serve your need. So that is the main essence behind this evening. As I indicated, the whole program will be run through by the great moderators, Mr. Ibrahim Fakir as well as Ms. Conita Hunter. And inshallah, that will take everyone right up until the end of the program. They are also outlined on the MSA Union for more details. In case anyone still need more details, you can go onto the MSA Union's Instagram page and our various social media, and you will see there the line up for this evening, inshallah, time-wise. And also, you will see there when the Q&A will be taking place, as well as who exactly the representatives of each party is. I can't recall now offhand. I know for certain political parties, I know, for example, one of the mayoral candidates, Councillor Tapelo, will be there from Al Jama, Sister Fasiha, Ms. Fasiha from ANC, and there are various other representatives of other organizations I've been involved. Mr. Carl House will be there among you, many other representatives for EFF. Rising Zanzi will be Brother Irfan. That is just now what I can recall now off the top of my head. But for the rest of them, inshallah, you'll be able to see that this evening, as well as on the social media platforms of MSA Union, you'll see who the lineup of speakers are. And most of them, by the way, will be Muslim representatives of the various political parties. So this is just a point I want to emphasize for the students who say, for example, okay, this party is known to be, not in favor of the Muslim people and so forth, then you engage with that representative there. And in that way, you'll be able to get out to the nitty-gritty details that you need. And I want to make this very clear. One thing that we have to emphasize for the benefit of the youth is, if you wish to scrutinize, and when I say scrutinize, I mean it in a good way, not in a in a rough way and start fighting in parliament now, as we see has been done before. I'm just saying, if you want to engage effectively with the people there, and you even want to go into a small little debate and ensure that you effectively get out the answers that you want, you must do so. At the end of the day, if these people that we voting for get into power, they are our voting representatives. Through our votes, they are there. So they are public servants. They have to account to us. So even now, before we put them in power, we have to, of course, ensure that we effectively engage with them and get all the answers that we want out of them. So don't be afraid as a youth now. Let us not be afraid to engage effectively with the political party representatives are there. For some of them are even in government now currently, and maybe they didn't get out to all of our requests that we made in the previous election towards them. So it's now time now for us to ensure that we scrutinize if they did not fulfill their promises and if they're making more promises as to what they're going to do. This is the opportunity through that Q&A session that will be held later on in this program.
Yeah.
This is the opportunity to ensure that we debate them as well as get the needed answers out of them for all of our desires, because ultimately they have to account to us because they are our leaders. We place them there, and as the saying goes, we put them there and we can also take them out. But even more so, I just wanted to end with this by saying, today, because of the state of society that we have with crime and corruption and with all of the various evils that we have, there's a saying that goes around that I love, that I always say, and that is, today we have those who choose to rob us, we have those who choose to rob us, and we have those who rob us after we choose them. I don't know if you understand the difference. Those who choose to
No,
rob
get
us,
it.
for example, the gangsters in the street, the people that want to rob us is unemployment that is right and poverty that's right, so they rob us. They choose to rob us and they rob us. But then you get those who rob us after we choose them. So after we, make that ballot, then they rob us, as we know, through parliament. So we have to ensure that we effectively engage to ensure that we don't have both those who choose to rob us as well as those who rob us after we choose them. Let us be effective with our engagement with these political representatives this evening, inshallah, in ensuring that we do make that good vote and that we are able to be part of making better change too, as we said from the beginning, illuminate the ballot rather than having the darkness pervading around us continuously.
Well, there you have it there, Ameer Adams. Thank you so much for giving us your time. I'm sure you've painted a picture of what this event is going to look like. I know for certain I'll be there. I'll be joining the guys there and trying to suss out all the political parties that are there. But really, really appreciate you giving us your time and assalamu alaikum.
Salam. As we say in Cape Town, baik terima kasih and shukran to all the respected viewers.
I mean, we're going to leave it there. Ameer Adams. If you are in Sandton, you're in the Joburg area, you're looking to, get more insight about which political party to vote for, you can make your way to the Illuminate the Ballot. MSA Union's 2024 Vote Wise Symposium is happening at the Hyatt in Sandton today at 5 p.m. We're going to be there. We're going to also be part of the conversation and the discourse, and you can tune in to Salam Media. Who knows? We might even broadcast it live. We'll see. X. We're broadcasting it live. Yeah, there you have it. Salam Media, they will be broadcasting the event live. So yeah, keep your eyes tuned and glued to your screens if you won't be able to make it to Santon or you are in other parts of the country. We're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we'll be chatting to Patrick Deal about a recent decision by the Labour Court, which offers optimism for job seekers who have criminal records. Patrick Deal is a Labour lawyer and a mediator at Deal Attorneys. He's going to be unpacking us that ruling that, for the longest time, we thought people that have criminal records, couldn't get employed in certain sectors, and it seems the Labour Court has made away with that decision. All this and more after the break. Will be joined by Labour lawyer and mediator at Deal Attorneys, Patrick Deal.